Hands behind your back. Now! James hasn't moved, hasn't threatened, hasn't resisted. He's standing in his own backyard, at his daughter's birthday party, holding BBQ tongs. Brennan doesn't explain, doesn't ask questions, just commands. James sets down the tongs, slow, careful, non-threatening. Officer, I'm complying. Brennan kicks the table. Metal screams against concrete. Ribs fly. Chicken scatters. Hot sauce arcs through air and splatters thick across white frosting, across the purple unicorn, across Zoe's 9th birthday cake. His daughter screams. Brennan grabs James, spins him, shoves him down. Concrete slams into knees. Pain shoots through both legs. I said hands behind your back. James obeys. 20 neighbors watch. No one moves. On his collar, a red light blinks, recording everything. 6 hours of footage. Brennan doesn't notice. Lisa's father steps forward. Veteran, 70 years old. Son, this is wrong. Brennan's hand drops to his gun. Everything freezes. 45 minutes earlier, the afternoon tastes like summer. Zoe stands in front of her cake. 9 candles flicker. Her friends crowd around. Their voices rise in song. Happy birthday fills the backyard, fills the neighborhood. James works the grill. Smoke curls thick and sweet. Hickory, charcoal. He flips burgers with practiced ease. Jordan films on his phone. Always filming, documenting everything for his family vlog. Dad, show them the flip. James tosses a patty, catches it. The kids cheer. Lisa brings out lemonade. Ice clinks in glass pitchers. Her parents arrived this morning, drove 3 states, just for today, just for Zoe. Neighbors wave from across the street. The Johnsons, the Reeves family, Mrs. Patterson with her golden retriever. Everything feels right. Everything feels safe. James adjusts his collar. The small camera sits there, always there, like wearing glasses, like breathing. He's worn it for 15 years. Habit from the job. Record everything. Trust, but verify. Jordan zooms in on the cake. 8 layers. Purple and white. Unicorns dancing across frosting. Mom, can we eat yet? Wait for Grandpa's speech. Lisa's father stands, clears his throat. 30 years Army. Retired colonel. He looks at James, pride in his eyes. To my son-in-law, to my granddaughter, to family. Glasses rise. Lemonade catches sunlight. Across the street, Susan Whitmore watches from her window. She's been watching for 20 minutes. Her phone glows in her hand. She scrolls, stops, reads something. Her jaw tightens. She picks up her phone. Dials. Not 911, not yet. The call connects. Deborah, it's Susan. I need to tell you something. Her voice drops low, urgent. James checks his watch. Sunday, 4:30 p.m. 36 hours until Monday. 36 hours until everything changes. Until the ceremony. Until the oath. Jordan asks, Dad, why do you always wear that camera? James smiles, flips another burger. Tell you Monday, son. I'll explain everything Monday. He doesn't know Monday might come early. Across the street, Susan's call ends. She stares at her phone. Her finger hovers over the keypad. She looks at the Carter's yard, at the decorations, at the children, at James. She dials 3 numbers, 911. The sirens start distant, then close, then immediate. Lisa's father stops mid-sentence. His glass freezes halfway to his lips. Everyone turns. Blue lights flash between houses, getting closer. James sets down his spatula, slowly, carefully. His face doesn't change, but something shifts in his posture, something readies. Lisa, take the kids inside when I signal. She hears the tone. 15 years married, she knows that tone. James, what's... Just be ready. Two patrol cars turn the corner. Fast. No lights now. Just speed. They pull up to the curb. Doors open before the engines die. Officer Derek Brennan steps out first. 28. 4 years on the force. His hand rests on his belt. Not casual. Ready. Behind him, Officer Rachel Martinez. Younger. 2 years in. She looks confused. Looks at the birthday decorations. The elderly grandparents, the children. Brennan walks straight toward James. Doesn't ask. Doesn't assess. Just approaches. Police, we got a call. James turns. Hands visible. Empty. Non-threatening. Officer, I'm James Carter. I own this home. How can I help you? Brennan doesn't answer the question. We received a report. Disturbance. Threatening behavior. Possible weapons. James keeps his voice level. Professional. There's been a misunderstanding. This is my daughter's 9th birthday party. As you can see, we have permits. We followed all HOA guidelines. He reaches slowly for his phone, shows the screen. Email chain. HOA approval. Dated 5 days ago. Brennan barely glances at it. I need to see everyone's identification, now. Martinez steps forward, her voice softer than Brennan's. Sir, can you tell us what's happening here today? Birthday party, family and friends. We have permission from the HOA president. Everything's documented. On the patio table, the permit paperwork sits in clear view. Official, stamped, approved. Brennan sees it, ignores it. How many people are present? 23 guests, all family or neighbors. Any weapons on the premises? James gestures to the grill. BBQ tools, kitchen utensils, nothing else. Brennan's eyes scan the yard, the tables, the decorations. He's looking for something, anything. Across the street, Susan emerges from her house. She doesn't approach, just watches, arms crossed, waiting. Martinez notices her, keys her radio. Dispatch, can you repeat the original call details? Static. Then the dispatcher's voice. Multiple black males, aggressive behavior, caller reported seeing weapons, neighbors afraid. Martinez looks around, sees elderly couple, sees children, sees birthday cake. Her eyebrows pull together. James hears it too. Every word. He's heard calls like this before, hundreds of them, from the other side. Lisa's father moves forward. Slow, hands up, non-threatening. Officers, I'm retired Army, Colonel Nathan Pierce. This is a peaceful family gathering. My granddaughter's birthday. Brennan doesn't look at him. Sir, step back. I'm just trying to help clarify. Step back now or I'll charge you with obstruction. The colonel stops. His jaw sets. 30 years of discipline. He steps back. Jordan still films. His hands shake now. The phone wobbles, but he keeps recording. Brennan sees the phone. Put that away. Jordan looks at his father. James shakes his head once. Keep filming. Officer, he has the right to record. I said put it away. Martinez touches Brennan's arm. Gentle, careful. Derek, maybe we should... I've got this, Martinez. But she doesn't step back. She looks at James, really looks, at his posture, his calm, his word choice. Something's not adding up. Sir, did you file the HOA permit yourself? Yes, ma'am. 5 days ago. Approved by the president. I can show you the email thread. That won't be necessary. I can see the paperwork on your table. Brennan cuts in. Martinez, check the perimeter. Make sure there's no one else. She hesitates, then nods. But her eyes linger on James, on his unusual composure. Brennan turns back to James. I need you to come with me. Answer some questions. Am I being detained? I need to verify your story. That's not an answer, officer. Am I free to go? Brennan's face hardens. Don't give me attitude. James doesn't react. His voice stays absolutely level. I'm asking a legal question. Am I being detained? Am I under arrest? Or am I free to go? The questions are too precise, too professional. This isn't a civilian fumbling through rights. This is someone who knows exactly what to ask. Martinez returns, shakes her head at Brennan. No one else, just family. Brennan keys his radio. Dispatch, show me 1097 on scene. Investigating. James stands still, waiting. 23 guests watch in silence. No one knows what to do. No one knows how to help. Zoe starts crying, soft at first, then louder. Daddy? Lisa holds her, whispers comfort, but her eyes stay on James, on Brennan. Brennan sees the BBQ tongs in James's hand. Metal, long, could be used as a weapon. In the wrong narrative. Sir, I need you to drop what you're holding. James looks at the tongs, sets them down, slow, careful, on the table. Done. Step away from the table. Officer Brennan, James uses his name, though they've never met. I'm complying with every instruction. My family is complying. Can you tell me what crime you believe has been committed? There it is again, that precise language, that professional tone. Martinez hears it too. She keys her radio, private channel. Dispatch, can I get the registered owner information for this address? Brennan doesn't hear her request. He's focused on James, on finding something, anything to justify the call. I'm going to need you to put your hands behind your back. Am I under arrest? I'm detaining you while I investigate. On what grounds? Suspicion. Of what crime? Brennan's hand moves to his cuffs. You're being difficult. James doesn't move, doesn't resist, but he doesn't comply either. Officer, I'm asking reasonable questions. I have rights. Susan shouts from across the street. Officers! He was threatening people! I saw everything! Martinez turns, looks at Susan, then back at the yard, at the children, the elderly couple, the birthday cake. Nothing here matches the 911 call. Nothing. Brennan moves fast. Too fast. He grabs James's arm. That's it. Hands behind your back, now. James complies, but his voice carries across the yard, clear, steady. I'm not resisting. For the record, I'm complying. Brennan doesn't care about records. He sees the tongs on the table, sees an opportunity. Drop the weapon. Everyone freezes. Weapon? The BBQ tongs? James doesn't have them. They're on the table. But Brennan kicks anyway. The table flips. And the afternoon explodes into chaos. Food flies. Ribs hit grass. Coleslaw splatters across concrete. Hot sauce arcs through air and lands thick across Zoe's unicorn cake. Purple frosting drowns in red. Zoe screams. Brennan doesn't stop. He grabs James, spins him, shoves him down. James's knees hit concrete. Pain shoots through both legs. His hands go behind his back automatically. No resistance. Full compliance. I'm not resisting. I'm complying. Brennan's knee presses into his spine. Shut up. Martinez runs forward. Brennan, what are you? Securing the suspect. Call for backup. Derek, he wasn't holding anything. The tongs were on the table. I saw a weapon. He refused to comply. He did comply. I watched him set them down. Brennan's face flushes. His hand tightens on James's wrist. Too tight. Deliberately tight. Are you questioning me, Martinez? She stops. 2 years on the force. Still probationary. Her career hangs on these moments. But she looks at James. At his bloodied knees. At the destroyed birthday party. At Zoe sobbing into her mother's shoulder. I'm just saying what I saw. Then you saw wrong. Lisa's father steps forward again. Hands raised, voice controlled. "Officer, I'm a witness. This man did nothing wrong. He set down the tool. He complied with every command. What you just did was—" "Sir, step back or I'll arrest you for obstruction. I'm a retired colonel. I know unlawful detention when I see it." Brennan looks up, his eyes hard. "One more word and you're in cuffs, too." The colonel's hands shake, not from fear, from rage, from watching his son-in-law face down on concrete, from 3 decades of service meaning nothing to this officer. But he steps back, because escalation helps no one. Jordan films everything. His phone shakes, but the lens stays focused. On his father's face, on the blood from scraped knees, on Brennan's knee and James's back. James's voice cuts through, calm, controlled, unnatural for someone in this position. "Officer Brennan, I need you to listen carefully. You're making a mistake you can't undo." "Is that a threat?" "It's a fact." Brennan reaches for his cuffs. Metal jingles on his belt. Martinez keys her radio again, her voice low. "Dispatch, can you repeat the registered owner information for this address?" Static, then response. "One moment, Officer Martinez." She watches Brennan, watches James. Something's very wrong here. The calm, the precise language, the way he addresses Brennan by name despite never being introduced. This isn't a civilian. This is someone who knows the system. Sergeant Hayes' voice crackles over the radio. "Units on scene, what's your status?" Brennan keys his radio. 10-15 in custody. Situation under control, Sarge. "Copy. I'm en route. ETA 5 minutes. Martinez approaches slowly, crouches near James. "Sir, are you injured?" "My knees. From the concrete, but I'll survive." "I need to ask you some questions." "I'll answer anything, Officer Martinez, but I'd like to know what crime I'm being detained for." She doesn't have an answer, because there is no crime. The 911 call reported weapons and threats. "Do you see any weapons? Did you witness any threats?" She looks around. Birthday cake, decorations, elderly couple, children crying. "No, sir, I don't." "Then why am I on my knees?" The question hangs, simple, devastating. Brennan interrupts. "Martinez, secure the perimeter. I've got this." But she doesn't move, not immediately. "Derek, did you run the address before we responded?" "Didn't need to. That's protocol. We always run." "I said I've got this." His tone ends discussion, but Martinez's doubt deepens. She stands, walks to her patrol car, opens the computer, types the address. The results load. Her face goes pale. She reads once, twice, then looks at James, at Brennan, at the situation unfolding. She keys her radio, private channel to Hayes. "Sarge, you need to get here now." "What's wrong?" "Just get here. Fast." Brennan pulls James to his feet, roughly. James winces but doesn't cry out. "You're coming to the station." "Am I under arrest?" "You're being detained for investigation." "Of what crime?" "Suspicion of weapons violation and threatening behavior." "Based on what evidence?" "The 911 call." "A call that doesn't match this scene." Brennan's jaw tightens. "Stop talking." James looks at Martinez. She meets his eyes. Something passes between them. Understanding. Recognition. She's figured it out. Or part of it. Jordan's phone battery reads 40%. If it dies, only the camera on James's collar remains. The camera Brennan still hasn't noticed. The small red light still blinking. 6 hours of footage. Everything documented. Zoe's sobs quiet to hiccups. Lisa holds her tight, whispers in her ear, "Daddy's okay. Daddy's going to be okay." But she doesn't know if it's true. 20 guests stand frozen. No one helps. No one intervenes. Fear paralyzes. All except one. Mrs. Johnson. From across the street. She pulls out her phone, starts recording too. Another witness, another angle, another piece of evidence. Sergeant Hayes's car rounds the corner. No lights, no sirens, just speed. He parks, steps out, surveys the scene. Destroyed food. Crying child. Man in custody. Blood on concrete. His expression shifts. This isn't what the 911 call described. He approaches Brennan. Walk me through your initial contact. Brennan straightens, confident. Responded to weapons call. Multiple suspects. Subject refused to comply with commands. I secured him. Hayes looks at the yard, at the birthday decorations, at the permit paperwork on the overturned table. Where are the weapons? BBQ tongs. Could be used as a weapon. Where are they now? Brennan points. The tongs lie on the grass, 10 feet from where James stood. He dropped them after I commanded. Martinez steps forward. Sarge, he set them down before Brennan gave any command. I witnessed it. Hayes looks at her, then at Brennan. Is that true? Brennan's face reddens. Martinez is mistaken. I'm not, Sarge. I saw the whole thing. Hayes's radio crackles. Dispatch. Sergeant Hayes, be advised. Registered owner of that address is James Carter. Current employment. Hayes raises his hand, cuts off dispatch. Copy. I'll handle it from here. He looks at James. Really looks. At his posture. His calm. The way he's positioned his body even while detained. Hayes has seen this before. In training. In briefings. Officer Brennan, did you run the address? No, Sarge. Situation was urgent. Run it now. Brennan walks to his patrol car, opens the computer, types, the screen loads. His face drains white. He reads the name, reads the employment information, reads the notation. His hands start shaking. He closes the computer. Fast. Too fast. Martinez sees. She makes a choice. Sarge, I need to see that screen. Martinez walks to the patrol car. Brennan tries to close the laptop. She stops him, her hand firm on the screen. Let me see. Martinez, this doesn't concern. Let me see. Hayes steps closer. His voice drops. Command voice. Brennan, step aside. Brennan moves, reluctant, trapped. Martinez reads the screen. Her lips move silently. Processing. Her eyes go wide. James Carter, age 42. Registered owner. Current employment, Oakwood Police Department. Position, Chief Designate. Start date, Monday, 10 a.m. She looks at James, still on his feet, still calm, still bleeding from both knees. Her mouth opens, closes. No words come. Hayes reads over her shoulder. His face goes gray. 20 years on the force. He's seen bad stops. He's seen mistakes. But this? This is career-ending. He walks to James, slow, each step heavy. Mr. Carter? Sergeant Hayes. You know my name. I know everyone's name. I've read every personnel file in the department. The words land like stones. Hayes feels them hit. Sir, I need to apologize. Don't apologize to the chief. Document what happened to James Carter, homeowner. That's what matters here. Hayes nods. His throat works. Swallowing shame. Martinez approaches. Her hands shake. 2 years on the force. She just questioned a senior officer, just challenged someone with seniority. And now she knows why James was so calm. Chief, I'm sorry, I should have... Officer Martinez, what's your first name? Rachel. Rachel, you questioned the call when no one else did. You asked to see the computer. You documented the discrepancies. That's good police work. That's what integrity looks like. Her eyes well up. She blinks hard, fights it back. I was scared. I almost didn't say anything. But you did. That's what counts. Brennan stands by his car, frozen, his career flashing before his eyes. Hayes walks to him, voice low, private. "Derek, how many complaints have been filed against you?" "That's not relevant. How many?" Brennan's jaw sets. 3. All dismissed. "By who?" Silence. "By who, Officer Brennan?" "By you, Sarge." The admission hangs between them. Hayes feels it. The weight of every dismissed complaint, every time he chose comfort over accountability. 3 complaints, all involving people of color? Brennan doesn't answer. "I asked you a question. 2 were black, 1 was Latino." Hayes closes his eyes. 20 years. How many did he enable? How many Brennans did he protect? And today, what was different about this call? The dispatcher said weapons, said threats. Did you see weapons when you arrived? The tongs were on the table 10 feet away. Martinez saw him set them down. I believe her. Brennan's face hardens. You're taking her word over mine? I'm taking the evidence, the scene, the witnesses. 23 people saw what happened. None of them match your version. Hayes keys his radio. Dispatch, I need you to play back the 911 call, the one that brought us here. Static. Then the dispatcher's voice. Stand by. They wait. 15 seconds. 30. Then Susan's voice fills the air. 911, I need police. There are multiple black men at my neighbor's house. They're being aggressive. I see weapons. They're threatening people. My neighbors are scared. You need to send someone now. The call ends. Everyone heard it. Every word. Hayes looks at the yard, at the birthday decorations, at the elderly couple, at the children, at the destroyed cake. Officer Martinez, does this scene match that call? No, Sarge. Not even close. What do you see? A family birthday party, permitted by the HOA, documented, legal, peaceful until we arrived. Hayes nods. He looks at Brennan. And you, Officer Brennan, what do you see now? Brennan says nothing. James speaks. His voice carries. Everyone listens. Sergeant Hayes, I want to file a formal complaint against Officer Brennan, and I want the 911 caller investigated for false reporting. Sir, that's your right. We'll process everything at the station. Am I still detained? Hayes hesitates, looks at Brennan, at Martinez, at the situation. No, sir. You're free to go, but I'm asking you to come to the station, file the report properly. Let us document this. And if I refuse? That's your choice, but I think you want this documented as much as I do. James looks at Lisa, at Zoe, at his father-in-law. The colonel nods once. Do it, make sure it's on record. I'll come, but I'm bringing my family, and my lawyer. That's your right. Martinez steps forward again. Chief, I'd like to lead the investigation, if that's appropriate. Hayes and James both look at her, young, scared, but standing firm. Hayes makes a decision. Martinez, you're right. I'm too close to this. I dismissed Brennan's previous complaints. That makes me part of the problem. You take lead. Sarge, I'm only 2 years in, James interrupts. Officer Martinez, you have the integrity this investigation needs. I trust your judgment. Take it. She straightens, nods. Yes, sir. Brennan explodes. This is ridiculous. Hayes, you're going to let a probationary officer... I'm going to let an officer with integrity do her job, something I should have done 3 complaints ago. Hayes turns to James. Sir, I need to say something on record. Those 3 complaints against Brennan? I dismissed them. I told myself they were just people angry about being arrested. I told myself he was a good cop with high numbers. I told myself a story that protected him. And that story led here. To your daughter's birthday. To you on your knees. That's on me. James studies him, sees the shame, the realization, the beginning of accountability. Sergeant Hayes, do you know what happens Monday? You become our chief. I become responsible for every officer in this department, including you, including Officer Brennan. That's why this has to be handled correctly. By the book. Every step documented. Because if we don't fix this now, it happens again. To someone else. Someone without a badge. Someone without protection. Hayes nods, understanding settling. What do you need from me? The truth. All of it. Every complaint you dismissed. Every time you looked away. Every choice you made that led here. I need it documented. You'll have it. Lisa approaches. Careful. She's been silent until now. Watching. Waiting. James, Zoe needs you. Can we go home first? Let her calm down? James looks at his daughter. Face red from crying. Hiccuping. Traumatized. Yes. We go home. We clean up. We make sure she's okay. Then we handle the paperwork. Hayes agrees. Take your time, sir. We'll be ready when you are. Martinez pulls out her notepad, already documenting, already investigating. Chief, I'll need statements from all witnesses, including the 911 caller. Susan Whitmore, she lives across the street. Martinez looks. Susan still stands on her porch, watching, her arms crossed, her face unreadable. I'll get her statement. James touches Martinez's arm. Gentle. Rachel, when you interview her, pay attention to the timeline. People don't usually call 911 cold. They work themselves up first. Talk to someone. Build justification. Check her phone records. Specifically calls made 30 minutes before she dialed 911. Martinez's eyes sharpen. Understanding. You think she called someone else first? I know how this works. 15 years in internal affairs. People always talk before they act. Find that conversation. It'll tell you everything. Hayes overhears. His stomach drops. You were IA? For 15 years. Before this appointment. The implication sinks in. James knows every trick, every excuse, every way officers hide misconduct. And now he's everyone's boss. Brennan hears it too. His face goes white. IA investigators don't forget. They document. They track patterns. And James has been documenting since morning. 6 hours of body camera footage. Everything. Sergeant Hayes pulls Brennan aside, far from the others. Derek, you need to call your union rep. Now. Why? Because Monday morning that man becomes chief, and he's not going to forget this. Are you saying I'm in trouble? Hayes looks at him, really looks, at the arrogance, the lack of remorse, the entitlement. Derek, you assaulted the next chief of police at his daughter's birthday party, on camera, with 23 witnesses. Yes, you're in trouble. 3 vehicles line up. James rides with Hayes. Martinez follows in her patrol car. Brennan brings up the rear, alone, isolated. In the rearview mirror, Brennan watches his career crumble. Every mile closer to the station, every second ticking down. James sits in the passenger seat, not the back, not in custody. Hayes made that choice deliberately. Respect, damage control, fear. Sir, about those complaints. Not now, Sergeant. Let's get through tonight first. Hayes grips the steering wheel, his knuckles white. Monday's ceremony, will you still... Monday happens exactly as planned. 10 a.m., City Hall steps, 5 TV stations, every newspaper in the county, nothing changes. Even after this? Especially after this. Because if I cancel, it looks like the system broke me. It didn't. The system is about to fix itself. Hayes nods. Doesn't speak again. The weight of 20 years sits heavy. Behind them, Martinez pulls out her phone at a red light, types quickly. Search bar glows. James Carter, Oakwood Police Chief. Results load. Local newspaper article, 3 days old. Historic appointment, James Carter, named Oakwood's first black police chief. She reads fast. Scrolling. Carter, 42, brings 15 years of internal affairs experience. Previously investigated corruption and excessive force cases, known for meticulous documentation and zero-tolerance approach to misconduct. Appointment comes amid community calls for reform. Martinez looks up, catches Hayes' eyes in his rearview mirror. He sees her phone, sees the article, knows she's putting pieces together. She nods once, then pulls out her notepad, starts writing everything she remembers, everything she witnessed, while it's fresh, while it's clear, good investigator instincts. At the Carter house, Lisa gathers the children. Zoe clings to her mother. Won't let go. Is Daddy in trouble? No, baby, but some other people are. Jordan backs up his footage. 3 times, 3 different cloud servers, encrypted, password protected. His generation knows how this works. Evidence disappears unless you protect it. Mom, I've got copies. They can't delete them now. Lisa kisses his forehead. Smart boy. Your father taught you well. The colonel helps clean up, picking up scattered food, righting chairs. His hands shake. Not from age, from rage barely contained. Mrs. Johnson crosses the street, still recording. Lisa, I got everything from my angle, if you need it. Send it to my email, thank you. Another witness, another angle. The evidence web spreads. Susan watches from her porch. Her phone buzzes. She looks at the screen. Text message from Deborah. Susan, we need to talk about that call, about what you said. Call me. Susan doesn't respond. Her finger hovers over the screen. Delete, reply, ignore. She chooses nothing, just stands there. Frozen. Inside her house, her phone logs wait. Digital footprints. Every call, every text, every timestamp. Evidence she doesn't know exists yet. At the station, Captain Linda Foster arrives. Night shift commander. 25 years on the force. She sees 3 cars pull in, sees Hayes' face, sees Martinez's notepad, sees Brennan trailing behind. She meets them in the parking lot. Hayes, what's going on? We have a situation, Captain. Define situation. Hayes looks at James. This is James Carter, our chief designate. Foster's eyes widen. She recognizes him from the press conference, from the appointment announcement. Sir, what are you doing here on a Sunday night? Filing a complaint against Officer Brennan for assault, false arrest, violation of civil rights. Foster looks at Brennan, then at Hayes, then at the bloodstains on James's knees. Inside, conference room, now, all of you. They file in, silent. The weight of what's coming settles over everyone. Lisa's phone rings. She answers. Mrs. Carter? This is City Attorney's office. We're checking on Chief Carter. Is everything all right? No, it's not, but he's handling it. Does he need assistance? Ask him yourself when you see him tomorrow. She hangs up. The city already knows. Word travels fast. By morning, this will be everywhere. At the station, James checks his phone. Sunday, 9 p.m. 33 hours until the ceremony. 33 hours to document everything, build the case, make it bulletproof. Martinez approaches. Chief, I'm going to interview the 911 caller now. Susan Whitmore. Remember what I said? Timeline matters. Check her phone records. I'll need a warrant for that. Then get one. Probable cause. False 911 call. Suspected filing of false police report. Judge will sign it. Martinez nods. Already learning. Already thinking like an investigator, not just a patrol officer. Yes, sir. She leaves. Drives to Susan's house. James turns to Hayes and Foster. I need to see something. Brennan's personnel file, complete, including any complaints, filed or unfiled. Foster hesitates. Sir, you don't officially start until Monday. Captain Foster, I was just assaulted by one of your officers at my daughter's birthday party. I have standing to see any relevant personnel records, as a victim, not as your chief. She can't argue. Won't argue. Follow me. They walk to her office. She pulls the file, hands it over. James reads, page by page, 3 formal complaints, all dismissed, all by Hayes. But there's more. Paper clipped to the back, loose papers, letters, handwritten, 6 of them, complaints that were never filed, never processed, just kept. James reads them. His jaw tightens. 6 families, 6 incidents, all the same pattern, all dismissed, all buried. He looks at Hayes. Paul, did you know about these? Hayes can't meet his eyes. They're in my desk. I kept them. I don't know why. Maybe I knew someday. He trails off. No excuse works. No explanation matters. James's voice stays level, but steel runs through it. Monday morning, when I walk into that office as chief, this ends. All of it. No more buried complaints, no more protection, no more looking away. Yes, sir. And Sergeant Hayes? Sir? You're going to help me fix this, because you know where all the bodies are buried, and we're going to dig up every single one. Hayes nods, accepting, owning it. The path to redemption starts with truth. Conference room. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. Coffee sits in foam cups, going cold, untouched. Hayes, Foster, and James sit across from each other. Martinez's empty chair waits. She's still interviewing Susan. Foster spreads the 6 letters across the table. 6 families, 6 stories, all buried. These should have been filed, investigated, documented. Hayes stares at them. I know. Why weren't they? Because Derek had good numbers, high arrest rates, clean reports. I told myself the complaints were just people angry about being arrested. You told yourself a story. Yes. James picks up 1 letter, reads it aloud. Officer Brennan stopped my son for matching a description. My son is 16. He was walking home from church. Officer Brennan made him lie face down on the sidewalk for 20 minutes while his friends watched. My son has never been in trouble. He's on the honor roll. He wants to be an engineer. Now he's afraid to leave the house. James sets it down. Signed, Patricia Johnson, dated 18 months ago. Foster's face hardens. Johnson, that name sounds familiar. It should. Her son goes to school with my son. They're in robotics club together. The room goes silent. This isn't abstract. This isn't distant. This is their community. Their neighbors. Their children. James continues. Mrs. Johnson will be at the ceremony Monday. I invited her family personally. Now I know why her son looked terrified when I mentioned Officer Brennan's name. Hayes closes his eyes, the weight crushing. Foster leans forward. Chief, what do you want from us tonight? The truth, all of it, every complaint Hayes dismissed, every letter he kept, every time he chose comfort over accountability. I want it documented, tonight, before I walk into that building as your chief. Why tonight? Because Monday changes everything. Monday, I'm your boss. Tonight, I'm James Carter, citizen, victim, father. And I want justice for James Carter the same way Mrs. Johnson wanted justice for her son. Foster nods, understanding. Where do we start? With Brennan's dash cam. I want to see what he said before he got out of his car, before he approached me. Foster pulls up the footage. Cues it. The screen glows blue in the dim room. Brennan's voice fills the space. Another one of these thugs acting like they own the place. Let's go remind them how things work. A second voice, younger, unsure. Derek, maybe we should assess the scene first. Nah, I know how this goes. They're always the same. The audio ends. Car door opens. Footage continues to the confrontation. James's face shows nothing, but his hands grip the table edge. Foster's jaw sets. That's not policing. That's profiling. That's bias. That's everything we're supposed to prevent. Hayes speaks quietly. That second voice, that's Officer Reynolds. He requested a new partner 6 months ago. I approved it without asking why. Why didn't you ask? Because I didn't want to know. The honesty lands heavy, raw. James stands, walks to the window, looks out at the parking lot, at the patrol cars lined up, at the building he'll command starting Monday. Sergeant Hayes, how many officers have requested transfers away from Brennan? Hayes checks his computer. 3, in 4 years. And none of those raised flags for you? They should have. I see that now. 3 partners, 3 formal complaints, 6 informal letters, all ignored, all dismissed, all buried. That's not one bad apple. That's a system protecting bad apples. Foster speaks carefully. Chief, what do you want to do about it? What we should have done 18 months ago. Investigate, document, hold accountable. Monday morning? No, tonight. Because Mrs. Johnson waited 18 months. Her son waited 18 months. I'm not making them wait any longer. The door opens. Martinez enters, her face pale, her notepad filled with writing. Chief, I interviewed Susan Whitmore. And? Her story doesn't match the scene. She claims she saw weapons, saw threatening behavior, saw multiple people acting aggressively, but when I asked for specifics, she contradicted herself 3 times. Did you ask about prior phone calls? I did. She denied making any. But she hesitated first. She's lying, when James nods. Did you request the warrant for her phone records? Judge Miller signed it 20 minutes ago. Records will be here by morning. Good work, Officer Martinez. She sits, exhausted, but focused. Foster looks at all of them. So we have dash cam audio showing bias. We have body camera footage showing excessive force. We have witness statements contradicting the arrest. We have a 911 call that doesn't match reality. And tomorrow we'll have phone records. That's evidence layer 1 and 2. Audio and visual. What's layer 3? Documentary records, Brennan's pattern, the complaints, the transfers, the statistics. Martinez opens her laptop. I started pulling those. Chief, in 4 years, Brennan made 180 arrests. 157 were black individuals. James does the math instantly. 87%. Yes, sir. And our community demographics? 22% black population. The numbers speak for themselves. Undeniable. Mathematical. Foster whistles low. That's not policing. That's hunting. That's disparate impact. That's proof of targeting. That's what the Department of Justice looks for in pattern investigations. Hayes slumps in his chair. How did I miss this? James's voice softens slightly. Because you weren't looking. Because nobody was looking. Because the system makes it easy not to look. That changes Monday. His phone buzzes. Lisa. Zoe's asleep. Finally. Are you coming home? He texts back. Soon. How is she? Scared, confused, asking questions I don't know how to answer. Tell her daddy's making sure this never happens to anyone else's birthday. She'll like that. She asked if the police officers are going to say sorry. James looks at Hayes, at Foster, at Martinez. Some of them will, I promise. He pockets his phone. Stands. I'm going home. To my daughter. She needs to know her birthday still matters. That what happened doesn't define this day. That she's loved. That she's safe. Foster nods. Of course, sir. But I'll be back. Tomorrow morning. Early. And when I come back, I want every piece of evidence organized, every witness statement typed, every document ready. Because Monday morning, I walk into that building as chief. And when I do, this case is already closed. Documented. Bulletproof. Understood? Yes, sir. Martinez stands. Chief, what about Officer Brennan? Should we suspend him now? Not yet. Let him think he's safe. Let him think this might blow over. People make mistakes when they feel secure. They talk. They confide. They create more evidence. Hayes understands. You want him comfortable. I want him complacent. Just for tonight. Tomorrow, everything changes. James walks to the door, stops, turns back. One more thing. The 6 families. From those letters. I want their contact information. All of them. Why? Because Monday afternoon, after the ceremony, I'm calling each one personally, and I'm telling them their complaints mattered, that I'm sorry nobody listened, that it won't happen again. He leaves. The door closes behind him. Foster looks at Hayes and Martinez. That man just got assaulted, humiliated, detained unlawfully, and his first priority is other victims. That's why he's chief. That's why we're going to make damn sure this case is perfect. They get to work. James arrives home. 10:30 p.m. The house is dark except for one lamp. Lisa waits on the couch. She stands when he enters. They don't speak, just hold each other. His shirt smells like concrete dust. Her hair smells like Zoe's strawberry shampoo. She's asleep? Finally. Took 2 hours. She kept asking if they hurt you. What did you tell her? That you're strong, that you're safe, that tomorrow will be better. James pulls back, looks at her face, sees the exhaustion, the fear barely hidden. I'm sorry, this was supposed to be perfect. Her day, her party. It's not your fault. I brought this here, this job, this target. Stop. You didn't do this. That officer did. That neighbor did. Not you. She leads him to the kitchen, pulls a plate from the refrigerator, half a unicorn cake, the half that didn't get covered in hot sauce. Zoe saved this. For you. She said you didn't get any. James looks at the purple frosting, the white unicorn horn still intact. His daughter's thoughtfulness cracks something inside him. He sits. Lisa cuts a slice, sets it in front of him. Eat. You haven't had anything since lunch. He takes a bite. It tastes like childhood, like innocence, like everything he's fighting to protect. Jordan appears in the doorway, pajama pants, bare feet. Dad? Hey, son. You should be asleep. Couldn't. Too wired. He sits across from James, his laptop under his arm. I backed everything up. 3 copies. 3 servers. Encrypted. Nobody can touch it. You did good today. Really good. Did you know when you told me to keep filming? I knew something was wrong. I've seen enough bad stops to recognize one. Because you were IA? James nods. 15 years. I've investigated hundreds of complaints. I know how these situations unfold. I know what evidence matters. That's why I always wear the camera. Why I always document. Were you recording today? The whole time? 6 hours of footage, everything. Jordan processes this. So you were gathering evidence, even while it was happening to you. Especially while it was happening to me, because if I don't document it, how can I prove it? How can I stop it from happening to someone else? Lisa sits beside them. Her hand finds James's. The colonel called. He wants to file a witness statement. Said he'll testify if needed. He doesn't have to. He insists. Said 30 years in uniform means something. That he won't watch injustice and stay silent. James smiles. Tired, but genuine. Your father's a good man. He learned from watching you. They sit quietly. 3 of them. Kitchen light warm, cake sweet. The day's chaos distant but not forgotten. Lisa breaks the silence. What happens tomorrow? I go back to the station. We finish the investigation. We document everything. We build the case. And Monday? Monday, I become their chief. And everything changes. His phone buzzes. Martinez. Chief, phone records just came in early. Judge expedited them. You need to see this. Can you come back to the station? James looks at Lisa, at Jordan, at the cake. Lisa reads his face. Go. We'll be here when you get back. It's almost 11. Go. This matters. He kisses her forehead, squeezes Jordan's shoulder, takes one more bite of cake. I'll be back in an hour. But he knows it's a lie. Whatever Martinez found, it's big. Big enough to expedite a warrant on a Sunday night. Big enough to change everything. He drives back through empty streets. Sunday night quiet. The city sleeping. Unaware that by morning, everything will be different. At the station, lights blaze in the conference room. Hayes, Foster, Martinez. All still there. All waiting. Martinez meets him at the door, her face pale, her hands shaking. Chief, you were right. She called someone, 30 minutes before 911. Who? Deborah Walsh. The call lasted 28 minutes. Did you contact Ms. Walsh? We did. And sir, she recorded it. The entire conversation. She's emailing it now. James feels his pulse quicken. Not from excitement. From knowing what's coming, from 15 years of IA work teaching him how these cases break. Play it. Martinez opens her laptop. The audio file loads. She clicks play. Static. Then Susan's voice. Crystal clear. Deborah, I need to tell you something about our new neighbor. The Carters, they seem nice. I met them at... I don't care if he's the new police chief. These people need to learn their place in our neighborhood. The room goes silent. Everyone stops breathing. Susan continues. I read the article. First black police chief. Big ceremony Monday. Everyone acting like it's such a wonderful thing. But he just moved here 2 weeks ago and he's already acting like he owns the place. Susan, what are you talking about? What did they do? They're having some loud party. Didn't even ask permission. Just assumed they could... Did you check if they have permits? I don't care about permits. The point is, they need to understand how things work here. This is our neighborhood. We've been here for years. He needs to learn respect. Susan, you're not making sense. I'm going to call the police on him. Let's see how he likes being on the other side for once. Let him see what it feels like to have cops show up at his house. To be questioned. To be treated like a suspect in front of his neighbors. Susan, no. You can't. He needs to understand he's not above the rules here. Someone has to put him in his place. Someone has to show him that badge doesn't make him special in this neighborhood. But if he didn't do anything wrong, I'll say I saw weapons. I'll say they were being threatening. The police will come. They'll investigate. They'll make him explain himself. That's all I want. For him to have to explain, to justify, to feel what it's like. Susan, that's filing a false report. It's teaching a lesson. That's what it is. Now I have to go. I need to make the call. The audio ends. The timestamp shows clear. 3:47 p.m. Susan called 911 at 3:49 p.m. 2 minutes after admitting she planned to lie. Nobody speaks. The silence crushes, suffocating. James's face shows nothing, but his knuckles go white on the table edge. His breathing stays controlled, years of IA training. Never react, just document. Foster breaks the silence, her voice shaking. Jesus Christ, she knew who you were. She knew you were chief, and she weaponized 911, deliberately, to humiliate me, in front of my family on my daughter's birthday. Hayes sits heavily, his head in his hands. This isn't ignorance. This isn't misunderstanding. This is premeditated. This is malicious. Martinez's hands shake as she types. Documenting, recording, preserving. That's filing a false police report. That's abuse of emergency services. And sir, I think there's a hate crime enhancement here. The intent, the targeting based on race, it's all in her own words. James nods slowly. Did Ms. Walsh say why she recorded it? She said she felt uncomfortable. Said Susan was saying things that felt wrong. Said she wanted proof in case Susan did something crazy. Smart woman. Foster leans forward. What else do we have? Let's lay it all out. Martinez pulls up her organized files. 3 folders, 3 layers. Layer 1, visual and physical evidence. She opens the first folder, plays James's body camera footage. 28 minutes, start to finish. Brennan's approach, the escalation, the kick, the table flip, food flying, Zoe screaming, James forced to his knees, blood on concrete, all documented, all preserved. Then Jordan's phone video. Same incident, different angle. Captures Brennan's face, his aggression, his deliberate violence. Then the HOA email chain, permit request, approval, dated 5 days prior. Every rule followed, every guideline met. Layer 2, audio evidence. Brennan's dashcam audio plays. Another one of these thugs acting like they own the place. Let's go remind them how things work. Then Susan's 911 call. Multiple black men, aggressive behavior. I see weapons, they're threatening people. My neighbors are scared. Every word a lie, every claim fabricated. Then Deborah's recording, Susan's premeditated admission, her deliberate plan to weaponize police. Layer 3, documentary records. Martinez pulls up spreadsheets, statistics, patterns. Officer Brennan, 4 years on the force, 180 arrests. 157 were black individuals, 87%, in a community that's 22% black population. The numbers fill the screen. Undeniable, mathematical proof of targeting. 3 formal complaints filed against Brennan, all dismissed by Sergeant Hayes. Hayes doesn't defend himself, just sits, accepting, owning. 6 informal complaint letters, never filed, never investigated, kept in Hayes's desk. Martinez displays them on screen. 6 families, 6 stories, all buried. She opens one, projects it on the wall. Patricia Johnson, 18 months ago, quote, Officer Brennan stopped my son for matching a description. My son is 16. He was walking home from church. Officer Brennan made him lie face down on the sidewalk for 20 minutes while his friends watched. She opens another. Michael Davis, 11 months ago, quote, Officer Brennan pulled me over for a broken tail light. He searched my car without consent, found nothing, told me I was lucky this time. I filed a complaint. Nobody called me back. Another. Carlos Rodriguez, 7 months ago, quote, Officer Brennan responded to a noise complaint at my daughter's quinceañera. He threatened to arrest everyone, called us animals. My daughter was terrified. Each one builds. Each one paints the pattern. Each one proves this wasn't one bad day. This was Brennan's operating procedure. Martinez continues. 3 officers requested partner transfers away from Brennan. Officer Reynolds, Officer Chen, Officer Williams. All cited philosophical differences. That's code for, I don't want to be associated with his behavior. Foster absorbs it all. 25 years on the force. She's never seen evidence this comprehensive, this damning. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Phone records. Martinez pulls up the logs. Susan Whitmore, Sunday, 3:19 p.m. to 3:47 p.m. 28-minute call to Deborah Walsh. 3:49 p.m. 2-minute call to 911 emergency. The timeline proves everything. Proves premeditation. Proves intent. Proves Susan worked herself up. Justified her actions. Then lied to dispatch. And one more thing. Martinez looks at James. Sir, I pulled city records. Susan Whitmore owns 5 properties in this neighborhood. Investment properties. She's a landlord. I checked her rental history. In 10 years, she's never rented to a black family. Not once. The final piece. The pattern extends beyond Sunday, beyond the birthday party. This is who Susan is, who she's always been. James stands, walks to the evidence wall, looks at everything, layer upon layer, truth stacked on truth. This isn't a bad apple. This is a system that protected bad apples, that enabled them, that looked away when they should have looked closer. He turns to Hayes. Paul, you dismissed 3 complaints. You kept 6 letters. You approved 3 partner transfers without asking why. You recommended Brennan for detective. Every choice you made told him his behavior was acceptable. Every dismissal gave him permission to continue. You didn't create Brennan, but you protected him. You enabled him. You allowed him to hurt people for years. Hayes's voice cracks. I know, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't help Mrs. Johnson's son. Sorry doesn't help the families you ignored. Sorry is just words. Action is what matters now. What do you want me to do? The truth. All of it. Written statement. Every complaint you dismissed. Every letter you buried. Every warning sign you ignored. Every choice you made that led here. Signed, notarized, on record. You'll have it. And Paul? Sir? Tomorrow morning you hand in your sergeant's stripes. Accept demotion to patrol officer. Work under the people you used to supervise. Learn humility. Learn accountability. Learn what happens when you protect the badge instead of the people. Hayes nods, accepting his fate. Yes, sir. Foster looks at the evidence, at the patterns, at the systemic failure. What about Brennan? Where is he now? Break room. With his union rep, they've been here for 3 hours, preparing his statement. Bring him in. Let's show him what real evidence looks like. Foster leaves, returns 5 minutes later with Brennan and his union representative, a tired man in a cheap suit, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Brennan sees James. His face hardens. You're that guy from... He stops, realizes, understands. James's voice stays level, cold, precise. I'm James Carter. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll be your chief. Tonight, I'm the citizen you assaulted. Sit down. The union rep tries to intervene. We don't have to participate in this. No, you don't. Officer Brennan can leave any time, but the district attorney is on his way, and when he arrives, he'll have evidence, layers of it, audio, visual, documentary, statistical, all pointing to one conclusion. Your client is a predator with a badge, and the protection ends tonight. Brennan sits. The confidence drains from his face. James doesn't yell, doesn't gloat, just presents evidence, methodically, clinically. This is your dash cam audio, your words, your intent, thugs. That's what you called us before you even approached. Play. This is my body camera footage. 28 minutes, showing I complied with every command, showing you escalated without cause, showing you kicked a table, destroyed a child's birthday cake, forced me to my knees in front of 23 witnesses. Play. This is the 911 call that brought you there. The caller is under investigation for false reporting and hate crimes. Every claim she made was fabricated. Weapons, threats, aggression, all lies. Play. These are 6 complaint letters, 6 families. 6 times you did this before. 6 times Sergeant Hayes didn't file them. 6 times the system protected you instead of citizens. Display. These are your arrest statistics. 87% black arrests in a 22% black community. That's not policing. That's targeting. That's hunting. That's disparate impact. That's what the Department of Justice investigates departments for. Display. These are 3 partner transfer requests. 3 officers who didn't want to work with you. 3 people who saw your behavior and wanted distance. 3 warning signs that were ignored. Display. Brennan's face crumbles. His lawyer sees it, knows it. This case is unwinnable. Officer Brennan, you had 180 chances to do this job correctly. You chose wrong every single time. That's not a mistake, that's a pattern. And patterns end tonight. The door opens. District Attorney Calvin Wright enters. Late 50s. Sharp suit. Sharper eyes. Sorry I'm late. Traffic. Foster briefs him quickly, shows him the evidence. All 3 layers. Wright listens. His expression darkens with each revelation. Captain Foster, suspend Officer Brennan without pay, pending criminal investigation. He looks at Brennan. Derek Brennan, you're under investigation for assault, false arrest, deprivation of civil rights under color of law, and we'll be coordinating with federal prosecutors regarding civil rights violations under Title 18 U.S.C. Section 242. Brennan's badge and gun are removed. His career stripped in seconds. As he leaves, James says quietly, "You hurt people because you thought nobody would stop you. You were wrong." The door closes. Brennan gone. His future destroyed. Wright turns to James. "Chief, I want to prosecute Susan Whitmore as well. False reporting. Hate crime enhancement. Make an example." "Do it." "And Hayes?" James looks at the sergeant, at the broken man accepting responsibility. "Hayes stays. He'll write a full statement. He'll testify to everything, and he'll spend the rest of his career proving people can change. That accountability matters. That redemption requires action." Wright nods. "I'll need your statement too. Official, on record." "You'll have it. First thing Monday morning, after the ceremony." "You're still doing the ceremony?" "Especially after this. Because if I cancel, it looks like they broke me. They didn't. The system worked. Not perfectly, not immediately, but it worked. And Monday morning, I'm going to make sure it works better." Wright shakes his hand. "Welcome to Oakwood, Chief Carter." He leaves, the investigation continuing without them. James looks at Martinez. "You did good work tonight. Exceptional work. That promotion we talked about? Accelerated. You're my new sergeant, youngest in department history." Her eyes widen. "Sir, I'm only—" "You questioned a bad call when everyone else stayed silent. You investigated when it would have been easier to look away. You built this case with integrity. That's what leadership looks like. That's what I need in my department." "Thank you, sir." "Don't thank me. Just keep being brave. Keep speaking up. Keep holding the line." He turns to Foster. "Captain, you're now acting deputy chief. Hayes's resignation creates an opening. You're the only person I trust to help rebuild this department." "I'll do my best, sir." "I know you will." He checks his phone. 2 a.m. Monday morning. 8 hours until the ceremony. 8 hours until everything changes. Go home. All of you. Get some sleep. Monday starts early. They leave. James sits alone in the conference room. Evidence covering every wall. Truth documented. Justice served. His phone buzzes. Lisa. "Coming home?" "Yes, it's over. We won." "Did you destroy them?" "No. I documented them. There's a difference." "I love you." "Love you too. Be home in 20 minutes. He drives through dark streets. The city's still sleeping, still unaware. By noon, everyone will know. By evening, it'll be national news. First black police chief detained at daughter's birthday. Evidence exposes systemic racism. Officer fired. Sergeant demoted. Neighbor charged with hate crime. But that's not the story James wants told. The story he wants is simpler. The system worked. Not because of him, because of Martinez questioning a call, because of Hayes admitting failure, because of Foster testifying to truth, because of Deborah recording her friend, because of Mrs. Johnson and 22 other witnesses. Because of Jordan's phone and his body camera and documentary evidence and statistical proof. Because accountability matters. Because courage can come from anywhere. Because change is possible. That's the story. That's Monday's message. Monday morning, 9:45 a.m. City Hall steps. 200 people gather. 5 TV cameras. Reporters with microphones. Community members holding signs. Welcome, Chief Carter. Justice matters. Accountability starts today. James stands backstage, dress uniform, pressed sharp, badge polished. Lisa beside him adjusting his collar. Zoe holds his hand, purple dress, hair in braids. Still his birthday girl. Jordan films. Of course he films. One more documentation for history. The mayor steps to the podium. The crowd quiets. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Today marks a historic moment for our city. It is my honor to introduce Oakwood's next police chief, a man who brings 15 years of internal affairs experience, a man who has already shown us what integrity looks like, a man who just yesterday experienced firsthand why reform matters. Chief James Carter. Applause rises. James walks to the podium. Lisa, Zoe, and Jordan take seats in the front row. Beside them, the colonel and his wife. Proud, beaming. Behind them, Martinez in dress uniform. Foster beside her. Hayes in the back. Civilian clothes. No rank. Accepting his fate. In row 5, Mrs. Patricia Johnson and her son. 16. Honor roll student. Robotics club. Finally seeing justice acknowledged. James grips the podium, looks at the cameras, at the community, at his family. He speaks. Yesterday, I was detained in my own driveway, in front of my daughter, on her 9th birthday. Officer Derek Brennan forced me to my knees, destroyed our celebration, humiliated my family, all based on a false 911 call from a neighbor who knew exactly who I was, who called police deliberately, who wanted to teach me a lesson about knowing my place. The crowd murmurs. Reporters lean forward. This wasn't the expected speech. I could have ended it in seconds, shown my badge, invoked my position, used my authority, but I didn't. Because James Carter, the chief, didn't need protection. James Carter, the father, the citizen, the black man in America needed something else. He needed the system to work. He pauses, lets the words settle. And it did. Not perfectly, not immediately, but it worked. Because one officer questioned a bad call even though she was junior. Officer Rachel Martinez. Now Sergeant Martinez. Martinez stands. The crowd applauds. She sits quickly, embarrassed, honored. Because one sergeant admitted his failures and chose accountability over ego. Sergeant Paul Hayes stepped down from rank this morning. He'll spend the rest of his career teaching young officers what he learned too late. That silence enables abuse. That dismissing complaints protects predators. That comfort is the enemy of justice. Hayes doesn't stand, just nods, accepting, owning. Because one captain testified to truths that hurt her department. Captain Linda Foster is now Deputy Chief Foster. She'll help rebuild what we broke. Foster stands briefly, nods to the crowd. And because citizens documented everything, my son Jordan, Mrs. Johnson across the street, 23 witnesses who saw, who recorded, who refused to let truth be buried. He looks directly at the camera. This badge I'm about to wear doesn't make me better than the citizens I serve. It makes me more accountable. Every officer who wears it answers to that same standard. No exceptions, no protection, no looking away. The mayor approaches, holds the oath card. James raises his right hand. Zoe stands beside him, her small hand on the Bible. I, James Carter, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police chief, that I will serve with integrity, accountability, and courage. So help me God. So help me God. The badge is pinned. The crowd erupts. Zoe hugs his leg. Lisa wipes tears. Jordan captures it all. Chief James Carter, official, sworn, ready. 3 hours later, Susan Whitmore's arraignment. Courtroom packed. Media everywhere. The recording played in open court, Susan's voice filling the space. I don't care if he's the new police chief. These people need to learn their place. Her lawyer tries damage control. Your Honor, my client made a mistake in judgment. The judge cuts him off. Judge Miller, 62. No patience for nonsense. Counselor, I've listened to the recording 3 times. This wasn't a mistake. This was calculated. This was malicious. This was weaponizing emergency services to inflict harm based on race. He looks at Susan. Ms. Whitmore, you're charged with filing a false police report, abuse of emergency services, and civil rights violations with hate crime enhancement. Bail is set at $50,000, trial in 60 days. And Ms. Whitmore, I suggest you use that time to think about what you've done, because your words, your intent, your actions are all preserved. On recording, in your own voice. There's no explaining this away. Susan sits, silent, her face pale, her future crumbling. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm. Ms. Whitmore, do you regret calling the police on Chief Carter? She pushes through, says nothing. Do you have anything to say to his daughter? To Zoe? She stops, turns. For one moment, something crosses her face. Regret? Shame? Fear? I regret everything. She gets in her car, drives away. Within a week, a for sale sign appears on her lawn. Within a month, she's gone. Officer Derek Brennan, suspended without pay. Criminal charges pending. Federal investigation ongoing. His union drops representation after reviewing the evidence. Too damning. Too comprehensive. Too public. 3 more victims come forward, seeing the news coverage, finding courage, knowing someone will finally listen. James personally calls each one, apologizes, promises investigation, promises accountability. The district attorney files charges, assault, false arrest, deprivation of civil rights under color of law. Federal prosecutors add civil rights violations. Brennan faces 5 to 15 years, his career over. His future destroyed. His pattern finally stopped. James doesn't attend the trial. Doesn't need to. The evidence speaks. The victims speak. The system does its job. Justice doesn't require his presence. Only his documentation. Sergeant Paul Hayes, demoted to patrol officer. Working under people he used to supervise. The first week is brutal. Humiliation. Whispers. Knowing looks. But he shows up. Every day, every shift. Learning humility. James assigns him to community outreach, citizen review board training, bias education, restorative justice programs. Hayes becomes the department's example, not of failure, of redemption. He personally apologizes to all 6 families. To Mrs. Johnson first. Ma'am, I dismissed your complaint. I ignored your son's pain. I told myself it was just people angry about being arrested. I was wrong. I'm sorry. And I'm spending the rest of my career proving people can change. Mrs. Johnson listens. Her son beside her. 16. Still scared. Still healing. Officer Hayes, I don't forgive you yet. Maybe I never will. But I see you trying. That's something. It's not absolution, but it's a start. Hayes takes it, works harder, shows up, listens, learns. Change is slow. Redemption is earned, not given. Sergeant Rachel Martinez, promoted, empowered, leading. James assigns her to train new recruits, to teach them what courage looks like, what integrity requires. You're going to tell them about Sunday, about questioning a senior officer, about being scared but speaking anyway, about choosing truth over comfort. Sir, I was terrified. I almost didn't say anything. But you did. That's the lesson. Not the absence of fear. Action despite it. Martinez becomes the department's North Star. Young, brave, uncompromising. Officers watch her, learn from her, follow her example. Change spreads. One voice, one choice, one moment of courage. 1 week later. Sunday afternoon. Carter family BBQ. Take 2. Same yard, same decorations, same guests, plus new faces. Martinez and her family, Foster and her partner. Hayes. Awkward but welcomed. Mrs. Johnson and her son. Finally invited. Finally safe. Deborah Walsh. Susan's former friend. The woman who recorded truth. James greets her personally. Ms. Walsh, thank you for recording that call, for submitting it as evidence. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. Susan was my friend, but what she said was wrong. I couldn't stay silent. That took courage. No. What Officer Martinez did took courage. I just pressed record. Sometimes that's enough. Zoe gets a new cake. Perfect this time. Purple and white. Unicorns dancing. No hot sauce. She blows out candles. Makes a wish. What did you wish for, baby? I wished for people to keep being brave. James looks at her. 9 years old. Wise beyond years. That's a good wish. Better than last week. Last week I wished for people to be nice. But nice isn't enough. Brave is better. Lisa's eyes well up. Her daughter learned, grew, understood. James holds Zoe close. You're right. Nice is polite. Brave is action. Nice is comfortable. Brave is necessary. Jordan films. Not for evidence this time. Just for memory. Just for family. The body camera sits inside. In a drawer. Charging. Ready if needed. But not today. Today is just family. Just celebration. Just healing. Hayes works the grill, teaching young officers how to flip burgers, how to listen, how to admit mistakes. Martinez's son asks questions, curious. What's it like being a sergeant? What's it like being brave? She answers honestly. Scary, hard, worth it. Foster tells stories. 25 years of service, the good, the bad, the lessons learned. Mrs. Johnson's son talks to Jordan about robotics, about school, about the future, about healing. 2 boys, same school, different experiences, building bridges. James watches it all. His family, his department, his community coming together, building something better. Lisa finds him. You did it. We did it. Martinez, Hayes, Foster, Deborah, the witnesses, the system, all of us. What happens now? Now we keep working, keep building, keep holding the line, because this wasn't about me. It was about proving change is possible, that accountability matters, that courage can come from anywhere. He looks at his daughter, laughing, playing, safe, and making sure no other child's birthday gets destroyed. No other family gets targeted. No other person faces what we faced. That's the job. That's Monday through Friday. That's the rest of my career. And Sundays? Sundays are for family, for cake, for healing, for remembering why the work matters. They stand together, watching their community, watching change take root. Across the street, Susan's house stands empty. For sale sign swaying, a reminder, a warning, a consequence. 3 doors down, a new family moves in. Black couple, 2 young kids, nervous about the neighborhood. James walks over, introduces himself. Welcome to Oakwood. I'm James Carter, police chief. If you ever need anything, if you ever feel unsafe, if anyone ever makes you uncomfortable, you call me directly. He hands them his card, his personal number. The father looks at him, understanding passing between them. Thank you, Chief. That means everything. That's the job. Making sure everyone feels safe, everyone feels welcome, everyone belongs. He returns to his yard, to his family, to his celebration. The work continues. The system improves. The change spreads. One case, one stand, one moment of documentation, leading to accountability, to justice, to hope. This is how systems change, not through one hero, through many voices, many choices, many moments of courage. Martinez questioning a call, Hayes admitting failure, Foster testifying, Deborah recording, Mrs. Johnson witnessing, Jordan documenting. All of it matters. All of it counts. All of it builds towards something better. James stands in his backyard, surrounded by community, by family, by the people who fought beside him. The badge on his chest reflects sunlight, heavy, meaningful, accountable. This is what justice looks like. Not revenge, not destruction, not personal vindication, accountability, process, change, hope, and a 9-year-old girl who learned that brave matters more than nice. That's the real victory. That's the story that matters. That's Monday, and every day after.
Sometimes the most powerful revolutions don't come with noise, just one person standing their ground. At Beat Stories, we highlight those moments that shift the balance. If this story moved you, hit subscribe, because every week we bring real stories that shake the system.